Happy birthday to you. Yes, I know it's not your real birthday unless you're one of the 10 odd people whose actual birthdays are listed on this profile. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. What a great time to be alive. Because you're alive. Remember, you are alive today. That is why it is your birthday day. Good morning. Happy birthday. You won't understand that. You have to watch the video to see that. Yes, happy birthday. Every day is your birthday. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. I hope you're having an amazing day already. I know it's 10:15 already when I'm recording this. It is raining and I've got my gloves above. You can just see them flickering there. Trying desperately hard to keep my phone dry while it's raining. It's not raining that bad, otherwise I'd have my hood up, of course. But still, okay. So, quick happy birthdays to Sam, Emma, Anthony, Karnjit, I think that's how you pronounce that. John, Mauricio, I definitely know how to pronounce that one, and Eugene. By the way, Mauricio, did you know that you and Eugene Hong have the same birthday? You guys, I met you both at the same event in Florida several years ago. Crikey. Gerard, I'm guessing it's a French name, so Gerard. I've just been watching Emily in Paris, really cool on Netflix. Quite fun sort of insight into, at least I hope it's an insight into Paris life. Feel free to let me know. Happy birthday to Claire, to Leigh, and to Yvonne Denman, utility warehouse, fabulous lady who has almost the same name as my mum, Yvonne Den Leigh, Yvonne Den Man, and lives locally here in Cheltenham. A lot of people in utility warehouse get us confused. Her husband is called John Denman, so yeah, John Denman and John Denley, both in utility warehouse, both in Cheltenham. It gets a bit confusing. I think you guys are actually in Gloucester, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so yeah, happy birthday to all of you guys for real. And by the way, Karnjit, one of your posts on your profile when I went to check you out, it's kind of the inspiration behind some of what's going on here. I'm also a bit worried about the wind blowing my gloves off the top of the thing here, so it's all getting a bit hard to handle. I'm just going to have to live with it, I suppose, aren't I? Anyway, so it's really annoying. Wind and rain. Morning, Zarina. How are you doing? Good to see you on here. Right, topic of the day. Are you asking for conditional love? Are you giving conditional love? I can't remember which way around it is. Basically the same thing. It's all talking about conditional love, basically, which comes from the book, Loveability. It's linked in the description. And there's also a link in here to a really good tribute that was given by Laura Whitmore, I think her name is. Possibly Laura, anyway, from Radio 1, about Carline Flack, which was from February last year, which Karnjit's profile reminded me of. And it kind of reminded me of this whole thing, because she said in that video that Carline loved to be loved, or loved to love, actually, is what it was. But I just thought that was kind of an interesting concept as well, because that's kind of me as well. I do also love to be loved. I love to love, rather, and to be loved, as you see, because I do this every time, don't I? I send you guys love. So yeah. But the interesting thing that came out in the book, and one of the things that tragic about Carline Flack, by the way, well worth watching that video, because again, it came down to a lot of people's perceptions and judgments of her, and not giving her a fair crack, really, yeah, just not caring enough, not being compassionate enough, and trolls and so forth. Thanks very much indeed, Zarina. Thank you. I can't wait to see you again. After COVID, it's definitely going to come up to London and see you guys. Me, your little children as well. God, they're hardly little anymore, are they? But that'll be fun. Anyway, yeah. Conditional love. Oh, and the Blinkist book of the day, by the way, really interesting, because this is one of those situations where I didn't think the Blinkist book of the day today would be relevant to the conversation. It was called Mr. Unavailable and the Fallback Girl. And it's kind of like, and it started off and it got me quite emotional a bit at the beginning, because it was talking about emotionally unavailable men and these women who go after them and get really frustrated because the guys won't commit and they're hot and cold all the time. And I'm like, that would not be me. If one of these girls came to me, that is not what they would find. And then it goes on to say that these women are looking for, they can't find emotionally available men because they wouldn't recognize it if they saw it, and they think they were too nice. And so they'd reject them because they're not like the unavailable men that they're used to, and they've gotten stuck of this rut of these men who are not good for them. And the whole way through I was thinking to myself, but I'm an emotional available man and I can't find anybody to be interested in me. And in fact, a lot of the dates I've been on, and people who, not really dates I've been on because I haven't really been on dates, but people I've met appear to be much more like emotionally unavailable women. It seems to be the way. And then at the end of the book they said, do you think that the reason you can't find emotionally available men is because you're actually an emotionally unavailable woman? Which I thought was really cool. I was like, oh my God. So just flipped it around in chapter 8 of the audio book on Blinkist. So really kind of cool. But going back to the book, which is the kind of main idea behind this, is conditional love. Yes. So this comes from a sort of transactional thing from childhood. Actually, this will be relevant to you, Zarina, if you're still watching. I think you still are. Obviously, bringing up your children, although I think they're not a little old now. It typically happens before about the ages of 7, 8, that sort of age, where you learn what love is from your parents and your family and the people around you, and you learn how to get love as a child and how to obtain love. And in the book, it's very interesting because there was 5 on the front page. Good morning, Louise. How you doing? There's about 5 things on one page, and I read through them. I thought, oh yeah, that pretty much covers everything. And then I turned, and I was thinking to myself, but I'm more of a comedian, so I will do all of those things to get love. And then I turned the page over, and there's a whole bunch. There's another 4 on the following page, which is quite interesting. So anyway, I'm going to go through those 7, I think there were types. So it's I have to be good to be loved. Okay, I think we almost recognise that one. I have to help to be loved, so I'm a helping person who's constantly helping other people, fixing other people, that kind of stuff. I have to be happy to be loved. So if I'm happy and jolly and well all the time, people will love me. I have to be a star, so there's the kind of people who sort of play piano or do acting or whatever in order to obtain love and stuff like that. And then I have to be melancholy to be loved, so I'm either sad or I'm ill. And of course, these are all trained behaviours as children because we did these things and we got love or we got attention, and then that made us feel like, oh, okay, so this is how I get love, is by being like this. And you learn how to be these, and as parents, we teach children how to obtain love if we don't help them to understand the deeper parts of it. And of course, this is the awakening thing I was talking about the other day. 2020, I think, has given us a lot of opportunities to awaken from our kind of like repetitive nature of our lifestyles and think about the life in the world in a different way. Then there's the independent. Oh, I have to be independent because maybe as a child they had to be independent to manage to cope on their own. This is the latchkey kids kind of concept going on here. I have to be a rebel to be loved. In fact, rebel's more along the lines of it doesn't matter what I do, I'm not going to be loved, so I may as well just be a rebel. It's kind of like more like that. The genius, so the hard study person. It's typical in Asian families, that's the sort of really hard working, hard studying kind of person. And then the peacemakers, which is actually probably closest to what I am. Trying to keep people happy, but not just keep people happy. It's about making peace and therefore being quiet and careful and reserved and not getting in the way, but also just trying to broker peace. That's what I do as well. I'm trying to make everybody happy, trying to make people talk to each other and so forth. Yeah, exactly. It is a tricky part, and what we need to do on the whole, Louise just said she's recently dated somebody who was emotionally unavailable. I can't do it obviously in here, but if you want to chat privately, Louise, feel free to drop me a message. Because maybe, as the book says, I'm going to listen to the Blinkist book of the day today, because maybe there's something about you that is attracting emotionally unavailable men. That's kind of where it goes through there. So anyway, but and the key thing it says in the book as well is you can choose. You can choose how you act, you can choose how you react, and you can choose the type of people you go out with. Perhaps just to be a bit more careful. I don't know. I'm generalising and summarising, and I've only got a few minutes left anyway, so a few seconds left, in fact. So anyway, so that's the general idea of the whole concept of conditional love. And emotionally unavailable people, which I thought was quite interesting. I thought it was quite interesting to look at this conditional love kind of concept where we're looking to try and get love from other people by acting in a certain way. Okay, that's my 10 minutes done. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got some value out of it. Obviously, a couple of people have for sure. I'm going to send you all love back out into the world. Have a lovely Wednesday.